Welcome back to the Summer Roast, your favourite off-season sporting podcast. We've been in each other's back pockets for the last week. We've been away. We're going to get into everything. Boys, we are always brought to you by PointsBet. Jev, how are you, my good man?
Oh, I am great, Dust. We've been on the piss for 7 days straight. We're buggered. We're out of gas. But there is a new swan in town, and I'm excited to talk about it. We've got another tall forward A-grader in, so I'm excited. How are you, Lewis?
I'm fantastic. As you said, I'm rinsed from the weekend. What a weekend it was. John Cena Nation in Perth, but I'm keen to hear it too, Das. I'm keen to hear the man who wasn't a big Charlie Curnow fan all of a sudden be Charlie Curnow's biggest fan. I'm pumped up.
Yeah, 100%. So let's get into it. Wherever you want to take it, Jev, I'd written here, who won the trade, Carlton or Sydney? Because I've got my opinion on it. Jev, what are your thoughts on Charlie Curnow now? Though he's a bit overrated, two-time Coleman medalist. Now he's coming in. Is he the greatest forward of all time? He's going to wear number 23. What's the go with Charlie Curnow being a Swan?
So I've delved into a bit of my Swan stuff. They reckon he's either going to wear number 4 or number 23. So
already Grundy's 4, isn't he?
Hey?
Isn't Grundy 4?
Maybe. So maybe it was another number. Well, I've already fucked that. Anyway, I was having a look around. Look, his finals record doesn't disappear. He goes missing in September. That doesn't disappear. So that still needs to be proven. I think he's absolutely perfect for what the Swans need. Whether I think he's overrated or not, I'm happy to have a new opinion as long as he plays well. We heard he was a selfish teammate. We heard some senior Carlton leaders were pretty keen to see the back of him. I know you guys are shocked that it's happened, but could be the best thing for you. In terms of who won the trade, I dead set think it was fair. You've given us an A-grade forward in his prime, and we're trying to win a flag. We had to pay to get him out. 3 firsts, Will Hayward. It sounds like a lot. By the end of the deal in Tassie, one of those firsts could be pick 30. If we finish, we win the flag and we've got pick 18, then Tassie have 10 picks in the top 20. It could dead set be pick 28 by that draft. So, yeah, I think it's fair. We wanted him. I've got no problem for paying for what you want. If you got to pay for it, you got to go get it. Shattered we've lost Will Hayward. I love Will Hayward. He's just a great, role player. He works his ass off as a defensive forward. He can finish a goal. He can take a nice mark. He can play one out. Can't wait to see him play for Carlton. I can't wait. I'm so happy for you guys. Ollie Fire, I'm going to miss. The firsts, they don't worry us that much this year. We've got a kid in the Swans Academy named Max King. We've now got enough picks in the 30s and 40s that we're going to get him either way. He's probably a top 15 pick, so we're still going to get a top 15 pick out of Max King. So I'm just so happy that whatever I think, the Swans targeted Charlie Curnow, got Charlie Curnow, and he plays for the Swans next year, boys. So it's very exciting.
Morgs?
Das, who won the trade? Well, you go. Who won the trade?
Well, I think if you don't want a player at your club, get rid of him. So I think we've done the opposite of what the Bombers have done, that we'll touch on in a minute. If he doesn't want to be there, go. With the draft that's going to be compromised in the future, that's fine. Let's try and stock up on picks. I love that we stuck fat. Apparently it was that future third first rounder that they were sitting on. Carlton are like, we're either going to give it to us or we're not doing the deal. So I can see now, because we were talking about on the roast, Jev, when we did this weeks ago, it's like, where's Carlton's young talent? Where are we going to get some new people in the door? We've got 6 first-round picks in the next 3 years. So whether we table some of them up to go up the draft order a little bit more or ship them out for another player. Yes, Our ceiling hasn't gone up straight away, but our floor has come up so much. If you look at all I can see now, so we've given up one player to potentially get 6 to 7 in the door.
Yep.
And in one of those picks, if one of them is standing up there on grand final day with a premiership medal, it's like, that's because of Charlie Curnow. One of those players. So this could be a generational trade, which has really reset us. So what we've given out this trade period, essentially, Charlie Curnow, Corey Durden, we've flipped a few first-round picks, a second and a third. But the people that we've got in, Will Hayward, Ollie Florent, Ben Ainsworth, Campbell Chesser, and Liam Reedy, which is pretty much just a flip. And we've seen that Darcy Fort and Gardner have been able to come in and play ruck. I know De Koning's good, but they just offered him $1.7 million. Of course, he's not going to say. Him and Pitnet have been shown that they can actually they can come in and play. You get Jagger to come in. We've got this guy, Jack Eisen. Apparently, he's a Carlton Academy pick that we're trying to pick up for. They reckon he can probably be top 10, 15 in the draft, left footer. You get Harry Dean come in. You get Cody Walker that's potentially going to be the number 1 pick. In 2 or 3 years, we could be looking like, how well have we set ourselves up from this trade? So I feel if you didn't want to be there, cut the line. I did not see this coming from the start of the draft. So I'm stoked. I'm so happy that we've actually gone out and we've actually made some picks. Again, for the Swans, Jeff, it's awesome for you. You need a forward. This might be the missing piece for you guys. I agree. I think it's a win-win, but it's going to be a fun one over the next 5 to 10 years. If Charlie kicks a bag on us and they win, they're like, they've won the trade. If we have one game where Hayward kicks a few, Florent plays well, and one of these draft picks from that trade dominates, like, fuck, the Blues won the trade. So It's going to be a fun one to follow over the next 5 years. Yeah, I'm pumped. Again, we say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. We've come out, we've cut the fat, trimmed the fat, however you want to say it, and we've got some picks in. So it's going to be a bit of fun over the next few years. And yeah, I'm excited, Morgs.
Yeah, well, can I firstly say, unless you're not watching on YouTube, Darcy, your hat to hair ratio is on like absolutely perfect. It is unbelievable how good it is. So if you're not watching on YouTube, go and have a look. But I just wanted to quickly say, I think it's a classic example, and we're going to get to the Bombers in a minute. I think it's one that we would have had a look in 3 years' time, and Sench Footy would post what Sydney offered for Charlie 3 years ago that we didn't take, and be one you'd just shake your head at. So that's where I think, obviously leaning into the merit discussion, I kind of agree, Das. When you lose a generational talent, you're always going to slightly lose at the time, but I think what we got back for him is a fair deal, and now we got a chance to reset.
It's funny you say. Sorry, funny you say you're sending people to YouTube to look at Darcy's hat. Anyone that's come now sees Morgan in a full John Cena kit, full T-shirt and hat. So I don't know if this is a little setup, but that's what Lewis has done.
I'm excited. Even like if you get guys like Frankie Evans, we didn't know that he was going to turn into Modra in the back half of the year. You get Ainsworth in, and chatting to a few people. Apparently Ben Ainsworth, he's a dog. He loves yapping. He was a former pick 4, and he came into a young Gold Coast side where they're not established, and he just wasn't able to play the role that he actually wanted to. Apparently Cripper's been extremely vocal. We've been sourced, he's pretty much been on the phone calling players, being like, hey, I want you. It's not calling everyone. So it's been interesting. It's been interesting last few days actually seeing all this unfold. Unless you want to touch on anything else, boys, I'm happy to jump straight into the Bombers.
Yeah, it's just as people know, we went to the races with Bailey Humphrey yesterday, and he couldn't speak higher of Ben Ainsworth. He absolutely loves him, loves being a teammate with him. I'm super excited to see what Carlton look like next year. As you two are, it is going to be completely different to what you remember. We've got pretty good sourcing that Pat Cripps is probably going to hand over the captaincy to Sam Walsh. And Walsh is going to be now the new face of this new crop of talent, with Jagger Smith nearly being a top 3 player at the club. It's what you're hearing, Das, that he's going to be a top 3 player. So it's going to be completely different. It's a totally new Carlton. You're going to be rebuilt, just a new version of yourself. So it has to be exciting for you guys. Couple of first rounders in the door if you nail them. So yeah, it's crazy.
It's the turnaround and the 360 effect on round 1 this year. If we hopefully beat the Tigers, but we can look back on last year's game against the Tigers round 1. But that was the game that broke the Blues. Yeah, that was the game that officially reset the club. That fucked our whole season. So speaking of another trade, this was so good watching this whole thing play out. I thought he was going to get done. I think it's an absolute fucking debacle that he's still there. Jeff, I'll let you lead off with it. Merritt, Essendon deal. Should they have taken it? Are you happy he's staying? If you're a Bombers fan, I'm pretty sure for them.
We all have the same take on this. This is the biggest dogging of all time by the Bombers. How can you not say yes to 3 firsts for a 30-year-old? My take is, bringing Zach Merritt back, you've ruled yourself out of a premiership next year because you're nowhere near it this year. Everyone knows the Bombers are nowhere near winning a flag. They're probably nowhere near making a prelim. Maybe if the whole list is fit the whole year, and Merritt has another good year, they could make finals. If you're, optimistic Bombers supporter, you could make finals, but not taking the 3 first rounders, you've now ruled yourself out of a premiership for 27, 28, 29, 30. They're just not winning a flag. I've had this take for a couple of weeks now. I dead set don't think I'll see Essendon win a flag in my lifetime, boys. In my lifetime, I don't think I'll see Essendon win a flag. And it poses the question, who will win a premiership first? the Essendon Bombers or the Tasmanian Devils. And I'm starting to think the Tassie Devils, their premiership window is closer than the Bombers. I don't get what the Bombers are doing. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. I can't believe you didn't let Zach Merritt walk for 3 firsts for a 30-year-old midfielder. Yes, he would still go play 5-6 good years at Hawthorn, but at the end of the next year, when this happens again, a 31-year-old midfielder is worth 1 first-round pick and maybe 1 player, maybe Henry Huswaite next year. You've cost yourself 2 first-round picks. You're not winning the flag next year. It is just a dogging. It feels like they're too stubborn. The old Essendon, all the old boys, they're too stubborn and they've just gone, nah. They decided we're not trading him, and then they just got good deals like, nah, we said we're not trading him, and they're going to regret it so much. This is a dogging. So, Morgs, your opinion?
Yeah, I agree. I just think that it all comes back to the Andrew Welsh. I love what he said. I love that he stood strong and said we are not trading Merritt. But at the end of the day, even if you go back on your word, it doesn't actually matter. It honestly doesn't matter. Like, now I don't look at Essendon now and go, what a strong club and culture they're building. I just look at it and go, well, I think they've cost themselves in the next 3-4 years of a generational trade with draft picks they need more than anyone. I just don't understand. I don't think it doesn't help. So even next time, now if you go into trade with Essendon, do you feel any different because they held on to Merritt? Not at all.
No.
If you give them a deal for a player that they're going to accept, they'll take it. So you could have taken it now. You wouldn't have. No one would have thought anything less of Andrew Welsh if they had have taken it. So I just think they've chosen to be. I like them trying to be proud and trying to be a strong club. But in the end, have you cost your club in the next 3 or 4 years by not taking it? Now you're stuck with someone that doesn't want to be there, who was your best player last year. And if you want to trade him next year, because he's going to ask out again from every year on of his contract, you're going to get less and less for him. So I just don't think it's worked out for him.
100%. And he can't captain. So the captain, you're meant to be the leader of the club. You're meant to be charging them forward into what is expected to be trying to win a flag. So, and then you're like, no, I don't want to be here anymore. I do not want to be. You now cannot lead the club. You can't. So the captaincy's gone. Everything that they do now is going to be walking on eggshells. And they've been trying to get out of the media for just all these shit performances. If something happens, all the talk's going to be like, Zach Merritt doesn't get along with this. There's more rifts to this. And the club is just going to be so shit and divided. Why you could just nip it in the butt. Walsh could have got the picks, which I think was a pretty good trade. Honestly, like, just get it out. You start new. You get all these new guys in. I think it's an absolute fucking shocker and can't believe it didn't get done. I actually cannot believe it did not get done.
I'm happy to be on the other side of the fence and disagree with you on this, Dust. I think he has to be captain. I think he has to get in front of the group day one of pre-season and say, boys, I just want to win and I want success so bad. And I knew Hawthorn were going to play finals. Now I want to be here, success. I want you guys to come with me, and I'm going to train my ass off, and I want everyone to come with me. I think he is going to be the captain of the club. Morgs, what do you think?
I don't think he can be. I know I love that you're the other side. I think chatting with Bailey, and not that, you hear what you hear. Apart from the 100,000 people that watch the games and then the hundreds of thousands of dollars, footy clubs at a professional level are not that far off from local footy clubs.
Oh my God, not at all.
very, very, very similar. And I just think it's the same thing. If our best mate was captain of the footy club and he said, I'm going to Bowie, and then all of a sudden Bowie went, sorry, mate, we don't have a spot for you, then he came back, he wouldn't be the captain. There's not a hope in hell. So I don't know. I just think you're talking to Bailey, you sort of forget these blokes. They're just blokes like you and I. They're just way better at footy than us. Which is, just trying to more, I guess, reason with the culture, Das.
Him and the Bombers were in a relationship, and then he was cheating on the side. He was trying to see the water, see if the other relationship was better. See if he could move overseas with them. Run away the fairy tale. And then they said, nah, we can't have it. And now you're crawling back to the old missus. She's like, nah. And then she's taking you back. And they're just going to live with each other for another year. And it's going to be a shit show.
On the flip side as well, I think it's an equal dogging from the Hawks.
Well,
I understand I get you got to have an out point, but when you clearly know what you need to win a premiership, it's how often do you have a team and it's like you look at Geelong, they're pretty well poised to go again next year. They got embarrassed on grand final day, but they're ready to go again. They're getting older, but they've got enough youth. They just go again. But Hawthorn was so clearly void of one extra midfielder, and he was sitting there, and it probably would have taken, was it Cam McKenzie? Maybe Ward. I mean, just one of those players. Like, I think you look back on that now, and do they find themselves in a prelim again, and they just spend another 12 months one mid short?
I guess all they're waiting on is for Will Day to come back, which obviously he didn't play. And I know Cam Ward played a good final before, but then obviously dogged it in the second half of the prelim. So they obviously want to hold on to them a little bit more. And again, whether they see the talent in those kids, because they're like 20, 22, 23. So whether they feel that when they drafted Cam Ward?
No,
Is it
Cam
Ward?
McKenzie, Josh Ward.
Josh Ward. Fuck, I'm thinking of the Tennessee quarterback. Josh Ward. They touted him as a potential captain, like future captain of the club. So they obviously hold him in high regard. But again, who dogged it more? Adelaide, Hawthorn, or North Melbourne? So you have to be improving your list if you're not just going to get the picks from the draft. Adelaide needed another midfielder. They haven't done anything. Hawthorn were looking at Petrarca. They were looking at Merritt. They didn't get the deal done. North Melbourne are one of the worst teams I've ever seen live. They just leak goals. I know Leakalea went back to GWS, but they haven't got anything. The Bulldogs didn't go get anything. They were going to get rid of Buku Kamas. The Blues couldn't get it done because the Charlie Curnow deal went too late. They got rid of Liam Jones. They haven't picked up anyone else in the back line. But North Melbourne, they're happy with their back line. They almost concede 187 points a game.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? Who had a worse trade period, Jev?
Well, I just don't think the Hawks got better. I reckon two things can be true. The Hawks played in a prelim this year. The Hawks were this close to missing the 8 at the same time. So go from 8 to the prelim was amazing. I just don't think they got any better. Everyone in Australia knows they are a midfielder short. And everyone agreed if they got Zach Merritt in the building, it would take them like that's ready to play on grand final day. Now they rock up next year and they have to play the old song and dance of, if Will Day's fit and when we get this in, we're going to be so good. It's like, I don't think they got any better at all. Can Gunston have the same season he had last year? Will he kick 80 goals in 2026? Morgs, if I set the line at 79.5, Jack Gunston goals, what are you taking?
I'm hosing the under.
Hosing the under. What if I set the line at 23.5 games for Will Day to play?
Hosing the under, unfortunately.
Hosing the under. So have Hawthorn got... They've just not gotten better. Unless... I think Henry Huswaite has to play every single game of next year. The way they speak about him and the way they keep saying how he would walk into Essendon's midfield and all of this, he has to play all 24 games next year. We have to see Cam McKenzie every week. I don't know. They've gotten no better, in my opinion. And, yeah, we'll see. We will see. Probably... my early thoughts, I haven't seen their schedule yet, is I will have the Hawks to miss the 8 next year, happily. Because I think there's 3 teams coming in which we will reveal as these pods go on. I can't give all my good stuff now, Lou. But, yeah, Das, who do you think dogged it?
I just think North Melbourne, Adelaide and Hawthorn. You got to go out. You've identified something. North Melbourne are a bit of a basket case. But, again, do something. St Kilda have gone out and just got players. They're like, we're going to get you in. And, yeah, I just think you just have to be making moves. If you're close, you have to just at least put your hat in the ring. Understand Richmond, they had a massive year last year. They had a heap of picks, happy with their players. They're going to go again in the draft. So I just think Adelaide dogged it. And then also, I know there's another team you think dogged it as well, Jeb, but we'll get into that. But the other biggest signing, Petrarca, is off to the Suns. That deal got done. Now, they have gotten rid of a lot of players, Jeb. A lot of players. So they got Jamara in as well. So they've gotten rid of... Let me have a look here. They got rid of your man, Morgs, Rojas. They got rid of Flanders. They got rid of Butterick. They got rid of Fiorini. They got rid of Ainsworth. They got rid of... I think that's it. There's maybe one more.
Yeah. So Butterick, Fiorini, Ainsworth, Flanders, and yeah, that's it.
So they got rid of a fair bit of depth. But then when you look at their academy players, that's the thing. It's like, they get rid of a bit of depth. Every year they're getting 2 to 3 players that are top 5 picks. So Bodie Ulan's brother, I watched his highlights earlier today. He's like a plug-and-play Errol Goulden. They're like, he's just going to start and play every single game.
He looks like a gun.
Don't you worry about that. So they get people out and you think, they're getting rid of these high-end talent. But they've just got all these academy picks and they just keep rolling all these guys through. So... interesting. How do you think it's going to work, Jev?
I think they're smack bang in the premiership window next year. Like smack bang. Just like, is there a duo you take over Anderson and Rao? I think they probably go into next year as 1 and 2, like number one duo in the league. I just look at their forward line. They're going to give Jed Walter every chance next year. He'll be 21 next year. Brickshaw's probably going to play. So they're going to have Walter and King, Humphrey and Petrarca, Ben Long. They've gotten rid of a couple of guys, but they're going to play Leo Lombard and Jake Rogers, who are top 10 picks that have been playing VFL. They've still got Touk Miller. They've got a solid backline. They're adding the number one pick in the country, Zeke Hewland. Bodie Hewland's a gun in the backline. Sam Collins is still there. Mac Andrews still there under contract. It is just... they just feel stacked to me. I love Jared Witts. I think he's as good as any ruckman in the comp. They feel absolutely premiership window ready next year, the Suns. Like, they get those home games. They get those Darwin games. They love playing in Darwin. Like, top 4, prelim final at the Gold Coast just feels like that has to happen. Morgs, your thoughts?
I can't believe how hard it is to follow. Watching Tradie Day last night, the last hour, they talk about giving up picks 7 and 8 for Petrarca, but they've got that many picks post 20 to get all their academy picks in. So you look at their draft board, you're like, fuck, they've just given up all these picks, but all those blokes are still coming to that club. It's just so hard to follow if you don't have your finger on the pulse, stars.
Yeah, 100%. But that's what I mean. It feels like they're getting rid of a lot. They're high in picks, but they just get them all in academy bids. So I think Dimmer's got a lot to work with now. Again, apparently the first year at the club, it was just headaches for everyone. No one knew what the hell they were doing, what time meetings were coming on. So he's established the culture, and then this year we could sort of see what he was trying to implement. And now next year it's go time, Jeff, 100%. You get Petrarca in there. Can he cook Jamara a couple of meals and trim him up a touch, Jeff? Can he get on the Petrarca diet? Can he get him set? Because if he can play, remember the game, what was it, Marvel? I remember
Didn't he play a D's?
I remember Kane Corns came out. He's like, Jamara has officially arrived.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he came out with. And it's if we can get him to 20%, 30%. So do you get Jet up the ground a little bit more? We know Ben King's a very much stay-at-home forward. And then do you just let Jamara just play one off? Does he just play one off? It's going to be exciting. I genuinely don't think he would play till post-round, like 15.
I want to set a line. 5.5 AFL games next year. You're taking the over and the under for Jamara to play for the Suns. I'm taking the under.
Yeah, I would as well.
I'll take the over.
5.5.
I'll take the over. I'll be positive. I got a good feeling about it.
He hasn't played a game since 2023.
Yeah, that's wild.
No,
24.
2024. He just didn't. No, so it will be 2024, the last game of the year when they lost to the Hawks. Didn't play one game 2025. Not even a VFL game. Now he's fucking playing. He's going to Gold Coast 2026, and he wants to be ready for round 1. I just can't see it. I don't know. Maybe by the end of the year, if there's a couple of injuries and stuff, I just can't see it.
If I'm Jed Walter and I've done everything right by the club, I'm training my ass off, and again, if he's form shit, and Jed's obviously not playing, and Jamara comes out in the twos and starts kicking fucking 10 a game, well, I feel it's a different story. But if you're just picking him over, I don't know. And again, this is going to be the tough bit, isn't it? You get all these guys in, selection's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough team to crack into, but it is going to be very exciting as we go through. So the Suns, again, yes, Jeff?
Just spending the day with Bailey Humphrey yesterday, like, he's just a 21-year-old kid that's just, like, has the self-confidence of, like Dimmer lets him know, like, you're going to be the best player at the Suns. And, he's got the self-belief. He's fucking huge. Like, I'm 6 foot. He towers over me and he says he's 6'1". He's just like, I'm so excited. We are getting 3 number 19 Gold Coast Suns jerseys where 1, 2, and 3 are the bandwagon next year. I'm just so pumped for the Suns.
If Dickie comment on the photo of us, and he's like, if Bailey Humphrey's a small forward, what the hell are you meant to be?
Yeah.
That's a good point. He's head and shoulders taller than me. Now, this trade almost got swept under the rug, and he was captain of the club 3 weeks ago. So Jack Steele just went for a future third round pick, and St Kilda are still paying some of his contract to get him out of the club. Like, how much are we not talking about that at all? Like, I think it's a great get for Melbourne. You get rid of Oliver. He comes in with a little bit of leadership. Obviously, he was the fucking captain of a club. He's a 2-time All-Australian. And St Kilda are still eating up some of his salary. I don't know how the fuck they're eating anyone's salary. They have just spent more money than a sheik. So, Jeff, I think it's a good trade. What about you?
I love it for the Ds. But I said to you today, Das, I love it for the Ds. And I love the idea of Melbourne starting midfield being Max Gawn, Jack Steele, Cozzy Pickett, and then the young gun Harvey Langford, right? I like the idea of all this. But I also don't think it's anywhere near winning a premiership. So I think they're in a bit of a football reset, but in a little bit of no man's land as well. Of like, why have you got Gawn? You got to be having a crack for premierships, but you're not. But you're going to be too good to finish last. You're going to be finishing 9th, 10th, 11th. So I think they're in a bit of a. They're going to bring back Stephen May. They're going to bring back Jake Lever. You know, they're just in a bit of no man's land, in my opinion. Did they get better in the forward line with Myercheck? Yeah, he's probably going to kick 35 goals. But is he going to turn into winning games? Without Petrarca and Oliver, I like Jack Steele. I think it's a great get for Melbourne. I just don't know sort of where they're at, Morgs.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's total no man's land. I don't understand the Myercheck. I guess I know you got to win games. You can't not everyone's judged on purely premierships versus wooden spoons. You have to just try and make finals and see what happens. But yeah, I just think you either got to go one way or go the other. And it feels like whether they're just trying to protect the coach, trying to get a little bit of, steady the ship a little bit and then make some moves. That's what it sort of seems like. But I agree. I think it's no man's land.
It's unbelievable the fact that Jai Simpkin couldn't get out of North Melbourne. He couldn't get out. And what they want for him, 2 firsts. Then Collingwood are like, there is no fucking way you're getting 2 firsts. Jack Steele's a way better player than Jai Simpkin. And he went for a future 3rd, captain of the club. So that's the yardstick. That's what he's going for. So I can't believe that North actually thought they were going to get 2 fucking first rounds for Jai Simpkin. But Jev, you've got a list here. I can't wait to hear it. Craig McRae wasn't able to land a fish. I think the Pies didn't get better this offseason, Jev. They didn't, and I think you have a bit of an insight to how he's been calling the players.
So Collingwood rocked up to this trade period with the draft hand of pick 39, pick 59, pick 61, and pick 67. That was, pick 77. That was their draft hand going in. I went through Twitter, right? Mitch Cleary, Tom Morris, Sam Edmund, and Xander Maguire all tweeted separately. Craig McRae and the Pies have called Clayton Oliver. Craig McRae and the Pies have called Charlie Curnow. James Rowbottom, Bailey Humphrey, Jai Simpkin. They've asked about Hawks pick 9 and Stephen May.
Okay.
What does Craig McRae talk about when he gets on the phone to these blokes? When he called Clayton Oliver, what does he ask him? Where's your favourite pokies machine in Melbourne? Where's the biggest win? What does he ask him? When he gets on the phone to Charlie Curnow, does he go, can I get a 2-for-1 voucher at your recovery centre? What is he asking Charlie Curnow? Because he's not playing for the Pies. When he called James Rowbottom, what did that conversation go like? Hey, mate, you're a pretty handsome guy. Where do you get your hair cut? Where do you go surfing in Sydney? I'm thinking of going to Sydney. He doesn't play for the Pies. What about Bailey Humphrey? What the hell did he say to Bailey Humphrey? Where do you get your tattoos done on the Gold Coast? I'm thinking of getting a new tat. What about Jai Simpkin? You got a pretty nice smile. What dentist do you use? None of these blokes play for the Pies. What did the Pies do to get better? They've got arguably the greatest player of all time about to hit his prime. And the cliff is coming that fast. And they just did not get better in the slightest. They've only gotten worse. This was the first pre-season that I could hear the key go in and the engine slowly starting. And they put the handbrake down of the Nick Dacos is going to Tasmania, boys. Because this cliff is coming. Because when they don't win the flag next year, and they more than likely miss the 8 next year, and Pendles and Sidebottom and Howe and the rest of them retire, there is a cliff coming. They spent 4 first rounders on Lockie Schultz and Dan Houston. They better start playing like they're worth that many first rounders. So I don't know. I just want to know what Craig McRae says when he gets on the phone to these blokes. Because it's not... you're playing for Collingwood because they got fucking nobody. They did not get better in the slightest. Clayton Oliver didn't want a bar of them, nothing. So, yeah, Morgs.
I just can't wait to see the old Sanskrit of the tattoo on his back that says Shucksy Doodle. That's what I'm. That's what I'm
Cheeky fly. Well, I'm being cheeky fly here. I'm going to call Jai Simpkin. Fuck off, idiot.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kick, can you give us a cheeky fly impersonation when he calls someone? G'day.
Oh, it's cheeky fly here. Hey, Bailey Humphrey. Oh, you're a really good player. I'd love you at Collingwood. Yeah. It's really fun playing in front of 100,000 every week.
Oh, fuck. That's
Bailey
enough.
Humphrey will not play there if you're the coach, brother. No one will. No. Anyway.
So it was an
There's
awesome
a clip
trade.
coming, Morgs. It is
boy.
doomsday.
It was an awesome trade period. I feel, again, our two club, this is going to be a great one, the fact that we're Carlton and Swans. I know people are probably sick of us talking about it, but I think it was a mega trade. You could argue it was one of the biggest trades in AFL history. So the fact that we can look over this over the next 5 years and just see where these picks end up, see where Charlie ends up. And I feel that's the only thing. And again, you never wish for someone to get injured. But it's like, if you look at someone like a mega deal, like if Merritt went across and then he injures himself, it's like, well, fuck, we just sold the farm for this. Or if Charlie goes down and then he's injured and it's like, well, fuck, now we've lost all this out. But I'm interested to see what you do with your other tall forwards, Jev. I don't know where the fuck you're going to fit them all in. And again, Morgs, you made a great point. Like, are we going to get one back? Because someone will probably play for us straight away.
You said it as well, Morgs. Like, we are not playing Amati, McLean, McDonald, and Curnow in the same side next year. I just can't believe. Like, I love Hayden McLean. I think he's an absolute competitor. He's a backup ruckman. I can't believe Carlton didn't ask for Hayden McLean back. Unless McLean just said, I'm contract Swans, I am not moving, which he probably did. I just can't believe not one of our tall forwards didn't come to Carlton on the way back. Or maybe explore their options elsewhere.
Yep.
Anyway, I've got a couple of questions for you boys just quickly. Clayton Oliver, I asked you guys this the other day. The answer's either in or out. Are you in or are you out on GWS next year? And there's no context. Is it what you're in or you're out on? Darcy, are you in or are you out on GWS next year?
I'm out, Jev. I'm out.
Just out? Did
you want a longer answer? Or
I'm fine. You can just elaborate a little bit. You are just not out. You just don't see a premiership.
Yeah, well, they've been up for a while. Again, like you brought Stringer in as a little bit older. Is Jesse Hogan going to stay fit? It seemed like with his injuries, I'm not sure if he's able to actually get through them now. He's a little bit older. Again, Darcy Jones is not there. We know that they got Stringer in, Clayton Oliver. Are we still looking at Clayton Oliver as like the 4-time All-Australian, like one of the better peaks as an inside midfielder? Or is he going to come down? Will the body get through? I don't know. I just feel that they've been up near the prelims for so long. There's probably a potential dip here. So I'm going to go out. Morgs.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go out. I just think from the last time they played footy to today, being Thursday, 16th of October, I don't think they've improved. The only way, yes, that you're probably judging them on the health. They had a lot of outs, and Jesse Hogan's foot was banged up. A couple of other injuries. Obviously, they've lost Kelly, Darcy Jones, but I don't think they've improved. Jev, I know you're in.
I'm in. Yeah, I'm in. It might be bias, and I'm happy for it to be biased. I just reckon that Sydney Water just does a bit different. I like the idea of Clayton playing with, I'm pretty sure Tom Green turns 23 next year and Finn turns 21 or 22. I like the idea of Clary bridging that gap. Tobes, I like Lee Lear staying. I love Lee Lear. Sam Taylor, a fit Jack Buckley. Another year of Stringer. He'll hopefully get fitter. He'll get those hamstrings sorted. We love Rouston. We love Grucheski. Hogan, the foot worries me, but if he's fit, he's an absolute star. So I don't know. I'm just in. I'm in, and if you just had to hold a gun to my head and say name the prelim weekend, I reckon it's Sydney versus Queensland. I reckon it's State of Origin next year. I reckon it's Swans, GWS, Gold Coast, Brisbane in next year's prelim. That's my oily four. So I don't know. They're the 4 teams I like right now.
Jev with the State of Origin. Do you have any more questions?
I had one, but I forgot it mid-question. So
That's right. We can circle back. We've done about 34 minutes. Boys, let's have a quick look at the slate. Let's have a look at the NFL slate. We had a little bit of a bet on the weekend, but we're in and about, Jeb, so we didn't do a heap of NFL gambling. The G-men, your men are looking awesome. Is there any bets this week that you're starting to lean? I had a quick look at the board, and I reckon there's a lot of money to be made, Jeff.
You go first, Lou. I've got a couple. I'm just getting the board up now.
Yeah, well, I've just obviously spoken to our good mate Tommy Sheridan, and he's all over the Atlanta Falcons at $2.20. I think he might be right. $2.20. They looked unbelievable. Bijan looked incredible. He looked like the best running back in the league. San Fran are banged up. They just lost Fred Warner. We know the other injuries they've got out. We don't know if it's going to be Mac Jones or Brock Purdy, but yeah, we're all about value, Darcy. I mean, your camera's just allowing itself to cool it to that hot of a bet. So $2.20. I like the Falcons, Jev.
Yeah. That plus 2.5 feels like the bet of the weekend for sure. There was another one here that I'm trying to find that I've heard this week that's an early play. I wouldn't touch the Chiefs minus 12.5 to beat the Raiders.
Nope.
No way. I would be taking that Raiders line. Max Crosby gives Mahomes problems at all time. It is Rashee Rice's first game back. So they reckon he's ready to go. Like heavy workload from the start. It might be a 8 target, 6 catch game this week, and then it could be back to his 12 target, 10 catch games. He's a good player. I can't believe Cleveland are the favourites over the Miami Dolphins. They reckon it's raining, windy sideways in Cleveland. I do not bet on Cleveland as favourites, though. Surely the Dolphins plus 2.5 is the play there. I actually do think Cleveland are gonna win. Oh, actually, I don't even know. But you have to take the points. Dylan Gabriel stinks. He stinks, fellas. I know Miles Garrett will tackle Tua that hard that his name will be Tyreek after it. But, oh, God. There's just a couple here that I'm like, that is crazy.
I found 4 bets. So I found 4 lines that I like. And my camera is heating up. So
because of these bets.
So this pays $14.80, lads. A little 4-legger. The Rams minus 3.5. Against the Jags. I think we just get it done. The Giants plus 6.5 against Denver. I like what the Giants are doing, Jeb. I love the G-men. Atlanta plus 2.5 against San Fran. And then I'm also taking the over 52.5 points with Tampa and Detroit. I think it's Point City. It's going to be an absolute barn burner. I think the Rams just get it done by more than 4 points. That's why they're in. Again, G-men to cover. G-men to cover. Say it with me. G-men to cover.
G-men to cover.
Over the Broncos. And yeah, again, we all like that Atlanta Falcons money line I'd take, but if you're going to give me 2.5 points for the cushion, I'm going to take it. So that's my 4-leg prong that I'm looking at early, and that's $14.80. Thank you very much.
There's one more, Lou. Apparently, Titans plus 7.5 is the play. Now that Callahan has been fired, they are bettable again. Yep. They're getting 7.5 points at home. New coaches bump. It'll look a bit different. I think that is the play, the 7.5 in that game. Lou, can we have a quick game of true or false?
Will you get to this?
Will you be at Houston, at Seattle, on Sunday night in Seattle?
Monday night our time. Oh, sorry, Tuesday our time. Monday night football. True, Jeff. I'll be there.
You will be on the ground or in the stands?
On the ground to start with, and then we'll work our way up. I don't know where our seats are, but yeah, we've got a bit of pre-game access, believe it or not.
Unbelievable.
The 100K has to be heavy in that game. We just need to get to that game, and it's Kenneth Walker to score, it's Zach Charbonnet to score, it's Sam Darnold to score, it's everyone to score.
Nico Collins.
My ex's name was Windy Sideways too.
Another one. Can people comment any legs they want in a chiseler for Houston at San Fran? Morgs is going to be boots on the ground. I can't wait. So it'll probably be me and Das next week on the roast, and then a little call in from you, Morgs, wherever you are in America, to update us on your trip. We're not going to say too much on this, Eb. Morg's going for America for 10 days, and what he's doing is going to be unbelievable, and I can't wait to see it all. We can reveal more next week when me and Das re-record, but are you excited, Morgs? You fly out Saturday. It is currently Thursday. You found out yesterday at the races that you're going.
Yeah, don't have flights yet either. So it's going to be unbelievable. But we do have to have a Discord chiseler for sure. We'll do a bit of a poll, and I'll throw that up while I'm there. You guys will have to put it on for me. But absolutely, it's going to be some unbelievable content. So follow along, and we'll have a bet or two for sure.
It's so funny when you got the call in. It's like, hey, we need you in America. It's like, all right, boys, I'm off. I need to go get the visa sorted. So
someone's going to do it.
late last night. Let's get into a bit of a ramble. We'll quickly touch on the races as it was fresh yesterday. And I can tell you what, have you ever had a better day at the races? It is blue skies, marquee. Thanks to PointsBet, we're in. We've got the beers. We're rolling around. And we get a winner. And another one. And another one. And then we lose one. And then we win another one. And another one. At one stage, we're 5 from 6, swinging one of the all-time hot bats at the races. It never happens, Jev. But free booze, and we all take home one of the all-time collects. Apart from we forgot to put one of the horses in the quaddie, which would have won us the quaddie. But we had it one out. Jev, what a day we had at the races yesterday.
We actually won. It's the first time I've ever been to the races and won. I couldn't believe it. We actually won some cash. And thanks to PointsBet, basically they told us, in a way, beating the PointsBet marquee, there's some big punters in there and stuff. They sort of told us how to bet. So they told us if a favourite is, like, you don't touch that favourite in a way because it's too short. They're like, no, it should be $3.80, not $2 that it is. So we were speaking to PointsBet today. This Kying Rising thing on the weekend in the Everest is going to pay $1.10, boys, as the race runs $1.10. But apparently everyone from Singapore and Hong Kong and those people, they bet on it at $1.06 and they'll have $100,000 on it to win $6,000 because it's that good. So they're licking their lips at $1.10. But all us Aussies are just like, that's $1.90 horse. We know everyone from Singapore and Hong Kong are going to be betting on it like crazy, so we're going to price it at $1.10. Just get on anything else in the race and fade it. And if it wins at $1.10, you just go, well, it won at $1.10. Have it in your quaddie or whatever. But it is just crazy. So they were telling us yesterday, like, we were taking some each way bets of a horse that was 10 to win, 3 to place, and then you have a little bit on the favourite as well at 3 to 1. So you got 3 bets on. All of a sudden, the favourite was winning, the thing was placed, and we were tripling our money. Or the roughie was winning, and we were winning the place, winning the win, and then the favourite didn't win. We're like, this is crazy. We're actually winning at the races. We had a great day with Bailey Humphrey. It was cool just being with him, hearing how, like, his whole little last month's gone. It was crazy, and, yeah, it was just a good day.
Awesome day, Morgs.
Yeah, it was like a damn roulette table, Das. We just had chips everywhere, but so strategically. It was such a smart display of betting.
The bet of the day was actually a horse your old man tipped us.
What was that?
The bet of the day was the horse your old man tipped us.
Yeah, he called me straight away. Hey, mate, you have that? He said, yeah. You? Yeah, had a few bucks on it. He sent me the ticket. He had a few bucks on it. So he was very happy. But that was an awesome day. Love to go back. Hopefully we get to do some more race day stuff. Boys, I'm telling you, it's different when you get free booze. You don't have to line up. You just
on a Wednesday.
We'll come bring you another. Those chicken sliders rolls that they brought around the end.
They were great.
Were awesome. But we were at the wrestling, boys. We're at Perth. We never adjusted to the time. It was a fucking awesome 3-night spectacle. We had 2 nights off, but they weren't really nights off because we're going around looking at peep shows and we're going around and drinking. It was good fun, but I'll tell you what, the show starts at about 8 and it finishes, give or take, around 11. And it feels every bit of 2 a.m. Melbourne time. Oh. Like it is. And then by the time we'd finish, every night we would go get Chinese. Well, the first night we got Chinese and we're like, well, this is a pretty fucking good meal, isn't it? So we had to go back there every single night. So things we realised, Chinese is awesome in WA and you don't get a bad coffee in WA. Those were my first 2 takeaways. Jev?
Zins. Perth is just Chinese food and zins. Yep. And the zins were great. The Chinese food, I will be buried in Perth and you guys will be fed City Garden at my funeral. That was some of the best food ever. We got this meal called the Drunken Chicken. Ooh. And it's open till 4 a.m. When it's about 1 a.m., you get some rice, you get a drunken chicken. There's a bit of spice in it. There's this Chinese tea. We call it the Asian Gatorade. You have one of those and a drunken chicken. Cherry ripe the next day, lads. Bit of spice, bit of tea, bit of rice, bit of soy sauce. You are absolutely cherry ripe, Morgs.
If we cremate you in Perth, your ashes will smell like black pepper beef. That we cannot do that. We cannot do it. But as the wrestling as well, Das, we got unbelievably lucky. John Cena was obviously there. There was 13,000 they fit in that arena. I reckon there was probably 8,000 Cena shirts. Just an unbelievable atmosphere. If you grew up watching wrestling, most people grow out of it, which we have sort of too. But it brought back all the feels, all the memories. An unbelievable weekend. SmackDown was live on TV because I don't do that often, Das. Obviously, they bring out like a house show that they did in Melbourne on Wednesday night. But this was televised TV. It was cool seeing the production. Michael Cole, Wade Barrett, just the whole kit and caboodle was in Perth, Das. And yeah, what an amazing job from Perth. You guys got on the pre-show with the Craig McRae needs a muzzle. I think I brought that home. I brought back the chisel because that's alive from behind you, Das.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're cooking into summer and Ashes is going to be unbelievable as well.
It is going to be a fucking awesome summer. Again, we feel footy finishes and it's like, oh, we don't have much. There is so much happening. Spring Carnival's awesome. We're just starting to cut our teeth in that a little bit more. And then the cricket. So hopefully we've got some pretty exciting news about the cricket. Morgs, you're going to be in fucking America like 3 times in the next 2 months. So you're going to be boots on the ground. You're actually going to be suiting up for Seattle behind Kenneth Walker as a tailback.
We need to apologise for last week. No 100K multi out. As we said, we're at the wrestling, but still, we'll make up for that.
Perth got big on us. We'll be better.
Perth got us. So we need to put more focus on the 100K multi. NFL, let us know if you've been sharp lately in the Discord as well, because, yeah, we need all the help we can get, but it's a good time of year, Das.
I think that could almost be a good segue, the fact my camera's absolutely shut itself for the 20th time during this. Can you guys still hear me fine?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome.
Your camera is that hot.
I reckon I might put a bow on it, unless if anyone else wants to add anything. Hey, we've had an awesome week. I can't believe that
we've been on the piss for 7 days. We're that dusty.
Biggest takeaway from the show, Jeff said that Tasmania are closer to a flag than the Bombers.
Yeah, that's it. I think
unbelievable.
What he really wanted to say is the next expansion team is actually closer to a flag than the Bombers. But he didn't want to say that.
I just don't think the Bombers will win a flag in my lifetime. It's like telling me the Washington Wizards are going to win the NBA championship or the New York Jets are going to win the Super Bowl. It just doesn't go together. They just stink.
That's
I don't
so
know.
fair.
They just stink.
Hager was the drunken chicken.
This show's on Bow Watch.
It did my guts.
Morg's going to America on Saturday is awesome. Him and his wife have saved up all their money to go for the whole of December. And now he's going on Saturday for 10 days, then still taking her for all of December. So Morgs is going to become half American, basically. He's going to get an eagle tattooed on him.
I hope they don't obtain their diet.
Oh,
We're all in trouble.
Your waistline's going to be furious.
Guts. If you ate like you ate Earth, it's trouble.
Let's put a bar on this.
Hugh Bowman.
Seeing John Cena live was Rushmore of seeing people live. It was that cool.
That's a great call. I know. We'll see you next week.
Roger.
Powered by PointsBet.
What are you prepared to lose today? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.